looking at Double Cross again. No Nilfgaard games today so far. They've all been banned. People, I mean, this is a deck that's been running wild on the ladder, and people really don't want to face it in tournament too. So they're all banning it. Imagine that getting banned, versus something like Syndicate. But no, it does make sense why it does end up getting banned. It's a very strong deck. It has a lot of points. It has a lot of cards that it could utilize to get points. Cam's again, kind of the main difference that we see in his double cross list is that he's opting for the Alba armored calories there in the 5 provision slot. Other than that, the usual suspects are here. Gorther, that you want to combo usually with your Kentarella. You have Ball, massive points, Usurper, Joachim. All those aristocrats. So like a different take on Nilfgaard or Nilfgaard Ball compared to what we've seen previously, and this has definitely taken the ladder by storm, and so it has also taken this tournament by storm, because I believe all the Nilfgaards that people have brought have looked very similar to this. So
yeah, I feel like oftentimes, for a lot of people, like I think it's been the most consistently banned faction. So, it's between that and line pockets for banned targets, it seems. And it looks like people are leaning way more towards this Nilfgaard, banning that out. So, even if you don't enjoy playing it, you don't like the hairline manipulation, you bring it for a nice fresh for ban bait at the moment. So
yeah, making sure everything else gets through. But that's the thing, when you're playing stuff like Kelly and B and everything like that, then it just feels kind of nice to be able to ban something that plays really well into those kinds of decks as well. So no Nilfgaard allowed today. All right, let's move on to the lined pockets list. Does Lance want to touch on that one, or should I continue here with Kams' lists?
Yeah, I believe his, let me go back to it and reopen it, but line pockets I believe is overall pretty standard. No sausage maker spice here to be seen, but he was running a little bit less in the 5p, only halfling safecrackers as the 5p inclusion in this list to fit in the Triss and the Heatwave. So fitting in way more top end, but totally cutting out the paydays.
The paydays, yeah.
Yeah, going for the Triss Fist deck.
Triss Fist deck, and obviously provision change to Tunnel Drill kind of forces you to make those changes. But thinking about it, do you like when there are definitely ideal situations for payday when it comes to cutting a card, though it definitely seems like from the 5 provision slot it has to be payday, right?
Yeah, and it's very sad. And I mean, that's if you want to fit in the Triss top end, of course.
Yeah.
But it is very sad because Payday just being such a, it's just a really good card for the deck. So it definitely feels sad, but I mean, Fist decks are also nice too. And then Fist decks kind of make you want to run that Triss as well. So you don't want to have an even number of poisons because, like one gets answered. Well, I mean, I guess he does have technically an even here, but also has the street dealer, as my Google Translate says.
The trafficker, the basic trafficker. He's a hero. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Carapaccio that we saw from Cabs earlier today. Very standard in terms of Kelly. It plays, you have your little squirrel tech. If you start there down from the bronzes, the Forktail is kind of making an appearance in monster lists these days, especially when Araka Swarm started getting a little bit out of control. Those Forktails started seeing a little bit more play, and they are here to stay, it seems, because Kamsus included them in this list as well. Nagelfar's Taskmaster, 5 provision card that plays for a really solid Purify. Usually something you want to have when you're playing Kelly. You have a lot of engines, and you can veil most of them, but some might get locked. You might also want to get through your opponent's defenders, so that's a useful tech card. And then the classic culprits here, Nithral, Beast, Phantom, all great engines to kind of use your leader on and just let them tick. Siri, Cave Troll can flip the coin around still, even if it got a little bit nerfed. And big points with Acorn, obviously Kelly or Smelly. It's smelly but effective when she works, so you want to keep her around.
Yeah. Keep your mother around too. But yeah, overall, God, there's gonna be one of these times where we're casting on your stream and she's actually watching as I say.
Oh, maybe.
Uh-oh.
She's watching right now, Lance. Okay, I know she's
Okay,
not. No,
I'm gonna
she's
hide.
totally watching right now.
I'm gonna hide
Totally
my
watching.
camera.
Hide it. Hide your face.
But
No,
yeah,
I mean, we went 2.5 hours without a single mom joke, so I'm really proud of Lance, but unfortunately, he's spent too much time with Twitch chat again, and he's back to making these jokes. So we're just gonna have
I'm
to
just
deal with
getting
it,
warmed
you
up.
chat. I'm sorry for all of you.
But yeah, we have Kams' double cross getting banned here, and then Danarai's line pockets getting banned.
All right.
No sausage being made today. We
So
haven't
sad.
we haven't actually seen a sausage maker play for his ability and his carryover yet, but
No.
yeah,
We did see him enter the stage though, which was nice. We kind of predicted that today someone is going to bring a sausage maker instead of a Sir Skewertooth, and we know what happens to Sir Skewertooth if he goes missing and a sausage maker appears. Well, turns out Danirai butchered it and actually is bringing the sausage maker instead of the Sir Skewertooth. But we're not going to get to see any of that because Kams has banned it. Too bad.
So we'll be getting out into the games real shortly, and we have the moment of truth, right? Did we make it into every single series?
It would be a legendary day, chat, if we make it into every series in this tournament client. The first one today, I mean, ever for Quilland Cup. What am I saying?
I'm honestly curious if it's like one of the first ones that for like a community tournament that wasn't like run by the devs, like that actually fully got through.
We'll see, because that would be amazing.
Uh,
Are we doing it, chat?
yeah, and both players just waiting for their decks, or we're just waiting for both players to pick their decks, and then we'll get right, hopefully, into the action. So.
Yeah, we're gonna see a bit of a Nilfgaard then from Danirai, the first Nilfgaard of the day. At some point today, probably. Danirai will cue his version. He played kind of the same version as what you saw from Kams, except he didn't opt for the locks, but rather went for those what are they called? Slave hunters, yeah. So more of the OG version, right? I'm gonna take a look at that one today.
No. And it sounds like I actually got in. Oh boy.
Oh, we're through. I'm through.
I'm through.
Yay!
Wow, I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed.
Couple more to go, and we can say that we did it. All right, Danirai queuing his hybrid harmony. I don't even know what to call this. What would you call this list, Lance? Hybrid list? Hybrid elf list?
Half elf harmony. Oh.
There you go. Good job. That was a good one. Okay. So, yeah, Danirai going for that on blue coin, looking to win it against Kams' Devotion gift, which means we're probably not going to see any scenarios come down on blue coin this time around from Danirai, as he knows there is no heat wave from Kams. That is not going to get answered this time around.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of trying to get through this round. Does not have the poison completion in hand. Also, gonna have to try and get through this Dunka, right? Like, you can move it and disable the order, but it's still going to be getting these buffs every single turn.
Yeah, absolutely. And that movement might be valuable for something else. Kams plays Pavko, plays Defender. Those Hawks can potentially or need to be used on something like that if you want to get to that juicy poison target eventually, as well as Kams having answers to those poisons with caresses. So the poisons aren't super effective. Dara, of course, does have Heat Wave too, but he needs to get through a defender. Maybe poisoning a defender could be something that Danirai goes for, as Kams would have to then purify his defender to purify the poison.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note the poly in Kams' list as well, to be able to be a little bit of the answer for the Hawk / Dragoon movement.
That too, yeah. Double Hawk, one Dragoon. Sounds like an adventure, but they can definitely do something. It's 3 movement cards that Danirai is potentially able to utilize, so not bad.
All right, we see. What was that? Oh, one of the not so impactful targets to hit. Obviously would have liked to hit for max value, but it's better than hitting the dwarf, I guess, because the dwarf re-enables harmony if it was to kill off, so it's not the worst target, but
no, absolutely not. And double Catwitcher engine it's really nice to have them here. I think Danirai really runs them because it's a way of efficiently winning round one if you can get those to stick. So yeah, I think Danirai is really happy about having both of them tick in here. Of course, Kams can kind of play around it a little bit by stacking front row, but as the adrenaline triggers for the Catwitchers, they will definitely make some points here.
Yep, and we see Kams killing off one of the Catwitchers with a nice value rebuke there, playing for the full value, able to play further, and his Gezras is getting nice and chonky.
Nice and chonky. That's how we like our Gezras. That way they stay alive and buff a whole row of units. Very good.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit scary for Danirai continuing in this round. Obviously doesn't want to take the pass, but you're starting to have to spend out, your Gezras for not great value. I mean, Spore's definitely playable here. You still have your Cat, which you're pinging off for another 4, so you shouldn't be too worried about like him getting too far ahead.
Nope. Here's the council coming down. Definitely a little bit, awkward for Danirai to continue playing on with the hand that he has.
Earth, choke the embers. Wind, blow out the flame.
So, a little bit still kind of expensive for Kams2, being that he has to spend 2 of his consistency cards, and being that potentially this call and this council, but going for the double leader charge here to go and get ahead of Danirai, so threatening to win on even now.
That is definitely a lot of points, but a good way of utilizing these Homage Dryads. You wanna get them going, and if you can win on even if it's a little bit of leader commitment, that sure can be worth it. Another nice thing is usually Gift wants to save those leader charges for something like the little tokens that Aethnus spawns, but you can kind of use them freely for just value in this game.
Yeah, this Gezra is coming down for some good value from Danirai, as Kams has a pretty stacked front row here. But again, Danarai's got to start to think about like the overcommitting here. Definitely don't want to lose on even, however. Like that's
no, not after this. Absolutely cannot do that anymore. And Kams still has such a good hand here in terms of being able to play deep. So yeah, here's the VOG.
Yeah, fall likely into this rebuke to kill off this Gezras, and it looks like he's just going to win on even here.
That's not great for Danirai. Saving the scenario is good and all, but committing something as big as Gezras, one of your poisons as well, kind of trying to bamboozle there, isn't great, while Kams is sitting with a chonky Gezras. Look at that, 11 points. That is not something that Danirai can remove unless he gets the Heatwave.
Yeah, Heatwave gonna be the key card to find here. So finds the Aniro, so does have access to the Heatwave for this round too.
That is definitely useful. Danirai needs it, otherwise he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Kams mulliganing that gourd, saying it's no problem, I'll just find it later.
Luckily, Danirai finding into another elf to proc this scenario as well, so that being a good sight to see.
Yep.
But now this
in terms of like how good Danarai's hands can be here, then this is probably it.
Yep, you want the bronze elves to proc the scenario, right? So.
But yeah, proactive plays aren't Kams' strong suit right now. He's kind of forced to like either play poly or just pass and take the card and go long round.
Like double SA with an 11-point Gezras allows the Heatwave not to answer it, so.
Yeah, that's what Kams does. Danirai being able to save all of his leader charges here still, so like there's a big Vernostial potentially coming down later. Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of see what both players end up drawing into here. There's still an Aileron left to brick into here, so Danirai has to kind of at least be somewhat careful with mulligans potentially. And Kams just drawing gold after gold going into this round 3 here.
So we've casted Kams' game before, and we saw a couple of devotion games from Kams, and it was, we talked about Kams being good at drawing his gold. He's following the pattern again. I think there's like one game where he didn't find everything he needed, but other than that, it's like really strong pulls from Kams today. Very nice, but no Gord. That was mulligan before.
Yeah, no Gord, but like he wanted to keep the caress because there's no obviously guarantee on Gord, but then also like there's still double poison left from Danirai, so it makes sense to just keep the caress and just say whatever on the Gord.
Absolutely. All right, Danirai being able to, this Percival playing for a little bit of a underwhelming amount of points here. Best case scenario, it plays for an 8. It's a card that you probably also want to utilize to win round 1 ideally, or in a long round where it gets a little bit more value potentially, but yeah.
Oh, it's likely playing for a 6, right? Because the elves are already out on the board.
Oh, true. Never mind. It's a 6 then, only for the dwarf tag. Yeah. Even worse. Poor guy. What else is Danirai? I think Danirai is missing out on a Yavin. Did he play Yavin?
Yeah, Yavin's in deck right now.
Yeah, it's in deck. So that's probably gonna have to be compromised just because of that.
I haven't seen that visual bug before. That was kind of cool. The rebuke was charging up there, doing a little Kamehameha action.
I see it on stream on the second monitor. Mine didn't do that. No. Racists. All right, I guess we're just gonna go for some good old Verdo value. And just... Oh, never. Yep. Yes. Then we'll talk. Look at that. Look at those. I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna get that waylay anyway, but it kind of ended up nicely. Haku dodged the pings, but still got finished by this waylay. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, I suspect the Ithne kind of comes down next. Quite good turn to Ithne. The only answer, I guess, is the Skirm, which you want to wait to get your Percival down first too.
I spend more time passing carriage.
Percival kind of has to come down before that.
And good back row treant here for Kams.
Nice. There it goes. Kams kind of making say that, okay, I guess there's no poison, so might as well go for this. And even if there was, there's always a Veil that he can play as well from that Echo card,
So we'll see where this next treant spawns again. He's gonna want to hit that back row to get the extra points on the Gezrus. Oh, you are frozen.
All right, I will fix it. Sorry about that. We back. It's been doing this a little bit, so my apologies, chat, if it happens again. Just gotta tell us.
So Polly being able to move Gezrus for some extra value is quite nice here. And these games are so close today.
They're super close again.
Kams able to eke out the victory with an 11-point Gezrus, and Polly playing for some, still playing for some actual value too, being able to move Gezrus to that front row.
Yeah, it's a nice card for gift to include both offensive and Gezrus kind of movement, or even unblocking a row with Polly. It's a cool inclusion for gift.
It did come down to those treant rolls too. Like I feel like the gift a lot of times can come down to these treant rolls. Where, yeah. All right.
And next game it is. Bax brings up a really good point that we got into the client for every game as far as he's concerned. This has been a technical success to end all technical successes. That is true.
Yeah, I mean it does. I mean we've peaked though. Why we wanted to peak so early on? We peaked, Chad. It doesn't get better than this.
Nope. Tournament client. That's it. Alrighty, we're looking at the next game. The hybrid is still lacking a win. Now, Danirai bringing his spicy frozen big boy combo list. I'm not really sure what to call this one either. Did you think of a name of this one too, Lance?
1 second.
No? He'll come. Don't worry.
Wet Dreams. I went there because of like white frost and haunt. Like it's the wet dream.
Oh right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a beginning to something.
I've spent a lot of my time trying to come up with just degenerate, clever deck names.
Worth it.
God,
it all came down to this lens.
I leave once I come up with them. I leave them in my deck builder for a while and just be like, oh, this is what I'm here for. You know, not for the deck itself, but just for the name. Like Star Whores, a new hairline. That was one of my favorites.
All right, Cam's playing the Smelly Dragon here on blue coin, drawing into his Ceely. Defender that exists that is good for Kams. No Aneromancy just yet, no Eggern just yet, but other than that, he's found stuff that are, very valuable for Kams to be playing.
Yeah, and Cam's just open boarding the Nithral here. No Parasite, a Nero, Heatwave for Danirai. Again, it's Rollock, so yeah, I mean, just ditching it. You get the leader charge out.
It's a nice leader charge. You're definitely applying a little bit of pressure. It's something we kind of talked about. Like, V is nice in that your draws aren't that dependent. Kelly can definitely fall back on draws. So if Danirai kind of just goes a little bit hard here and says maybe Kams doesn't have such a great hand, something like the leader charge is definitely going to be worth points. And there's not that many targets you want to move anyway. So taking the Nithral where you see it is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your movement stuff, you're just expecting it to get answered, and then going right into the no fear Ceely, because again we have neither access to neither of these.
I like it. I like it because again, Heatwave the smallest chance of Danirai, the biggest chance of Danirai not having it is this round, so why not go for it?
I like it too. You've already forced a leader charge, right? Like, I mean, now just kind of flipping the coin is super nice. You got a lot of commitment out of Danirai already.
Yep, and Kams has his own engine taking Danirai, answering there with the beast to try and keep up still. Big place left. There's an Eggern that you kind of have to make sure doesn't play into selection, but other than that, you can play that for quite a few points from Danirai's side as well.
You can do Forktail selection still to kill the Eggern as well, though.
Oh, a Forktail selection, that is true. That exists. And Eggern isn't even coming down, so maybe it's just kind of staying there for a bit. Or not even coming down just because of that Appearing Phantom tick that exists as well.
And we continue to smork again. This is what is to be expected about.
There seems to be a pattern in the ways of playing this game with the lines that Kams has taken.
Yeah, I don't know. Danirai really prioritizing like the thrive curve here for the most amount of value. I mean, it is quite sad for him that Eggern will get answered, of course. Maybe just was expecting that potentially to happen.
I mean, if you do end up playing like a Bargus and you have dominance, then you could potentially yield it, but yeah.
But Kams, I mean, okay, he goes Defender here.
Alright.
So really gonna try to push to just win this round uneven now, which it's very doable. Like this Eggern, like I said, is dying. He still has his Phantom with the order. Still has a leader charge here or there that he could possibly use too. So I think Kams is in quite the spot to get that win uneven.
Yeah. Danirai at this point is just kind of saying that if he gets ahead without committing too much, then he'll just take it and see what Kams will trade with. But yeah.
Yeah, he's in kind of a tough spot here, especially with Haunt in hand. Really limits how far he can go.
I mean, he's just kind of looking to play that Eggern second to last and get another card from Kams, I think. Or like here next turn. Yeah. Or he's coming down. Maybe it can eat the Eggern. Who knows? Okay, no.
What I would have loved to have seen is like if it wasn't so awkward for Kams to hold on to this forktail, holding on, I would love to see a forktail just crushing Eager. That's one of the satisfying, probably one of the more satisfying forktails you could have.
Oh, for sure.
Other than
we definitely might be looking at a consume though, like unless Kams starts going for leader charges here,
yeah,
which seems a little bit overcommittal. Danirai is going to get the dominance.
Well, does he? Well, he gets the dominance with Eager.
He plays the Eggern, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is really nice for Danirai.
Yeah. But then it gives Kams the Azrael this round.
I was thinking, is Kams looking to go for these leader charges here, though? It might do that. Okay. Just, yeah, still dominance exists for Danirai.
I mean, maybe you just spend the Yeet this round instead of the Azrael, because then you can just bleed out the Haunt. So
exactly, the spinning the Heat Wave definitely isn't bad if it gets you that win on even. So yeah, Danirai definitely gonna play that Eager for dominance, eat it, you know, rather than have that die 10 itty bitty damage. So yeah. So turns out, you know, playing for that Thrive value might actually have been a good thing for Danirai. And here you kind of making the same move as Kams did. Of, like, there probably isn't a Heat Wave, or maybe there isn't a Heat Wave, so I can play this stall now.
Yeah, I definitely kind of forgot about the whole just consuming. I got so tunnel visioned on just wanting to see it get fork-tailed.
Yeah. It would have been, that would have been spooky wookie. But this way, Danirai can still make it, and Kams kind of has to make the choice of whether he spends the Heat Wave or not. I think another thing that Kams might be showing is that he doesn't have the Wrath by boosting, you know. He's not really looking to have any really tall units here. But, but yeah, that Heat Wave did come down there, and that's a win on even. But Danirai does get to keep a Haunt that Kams will definitely try to bleed out. But the Haunt is not going to get answered by a Heat Wave, meaning that Danirai probably can get out of a round, but having to spend the Haunt is definitely big.
Maxi is quite good into this round too, kind of showing Kams what he's able to find in the round 3. Again, he'd love to see this Eager, and you know, he'd love to get another one in the grave.
Yep. Alright, Danirai finding his Heat Wave a little bit too late. Couldn't answer the Suri or anything, but if Kams decides to go like all in here, then that one might come in handy on a big old Austral or something. And the spores that Danirai finds instantly coming down. Look at that. Ooh.
I mean, Maxi coming down for a good, nice, proactive play for Kams here. Shows him what he's drawing, which is a whole lot of bronzes. So I'm gonna...
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the shuffle here. There aren't that many golds.
Yeah, I mean, he drew most of them.
Yes, there are 2 golds left, and, you know, reshuffling is kind of nice, because at least you have a chance at drawing, like, your Eggern, I guess. But yeah, that's a... That Austral kind of getting eliminated by a spore is a little bit...
Now I shall break you.
A little bit sad.
So let's see what Danirai decides to do here. This could be quite scary, actually, with this hand state. Like, if... Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he just decides that his win con is just not spending the Haunt this round, and either way could only trigger 1 chapter.
Kams is deciding about the into.
Who told you to fight like this?
Oof. All right. Well.
Yeah,
Now
this is
Donna
just
Ray
straight
has
2-0 at
to
this point.
defend it. Yeah.
Or maybe he just passes, just saying like, I got the haunt out, I got what I wanted. But
Yeah, if Kams passes here, then Donna still makes it out. But not that much left. Let's see what Donna has left in his deck.
Osro.
There's a deck left that won't really do that much unless you draw like a Bargist here, ideal situation. But yeah, Osrill's still there, Goliath and Airmancy. He's a couple of points definitely, but Kelly is a little bit threatening as well.
Double SA Egern is quite nice. This Spores takes away a lot of the points in terms of the Osro potentially.
As long as you find the Egern or the Airmancy here for Kams, that is.
Okay, and Danirai takes the quick forfeit.
All right. I wonder what he was kind of looking for there. Was there anything in particular he wanted to see?
I mean the Osril, probably being a big one there. Detlaf and a Consume.
Right. Yeah.
But kind of like what we kind of mentioned though in the deck builder a little bit though is that the White Frost feels a bit like greedier. Potentially than something like the like an Overwhelming Hunger version, which we typically saw with Detlaf, because the only consumes was double Bargist and Haunt, right? So like you lose the Haunt or don't draw it in the same round as like this Detlaf, you can run into possibly some sticky situations in the short round. So and what is Kams's last deck is Lined Pockets. So yeah,
I think this. What do you think, Danirai? He has everything left. He could go for Nilfgaard. I like that we saw kind of the spicier lists from Danirai, so we got to see those in action, and those kind of all have to get through Lined Pockets.
Kams is also on red here, so he has 2 red coins with Lined Pockets as well. Like that's pretty frightening.
Okay. It is definitely frightening, but Danirai can definitely put up a good fight here with, the decks that he has, and yeah, let's see how it all turns out. Kam's going on red coin, Danirai going on blue coin. QuillandLance and Nilfgaard, the deck with a lot of control options for Kam's stuff. Definitely has a chance of getting through this syndicate.
Let's see here what the hand states end up being. We see one safe cracker that's coming up quite huge. Do we get to see the Justice as well on Kams's side? Because that'll be pretty impactful in pushing this round. And for Danirai, trying to find access to like a Joachim is pretty significant. Finding Coup in these rounds to really kind of slam down points is also something you like to see on the Nilfgaard side.
Yeah.
And Kams does find Furco, so...
Yep, Furco being really helpful here. We have a little bit of Fistex going on as well. Danarai's stratagem kind of fighting off any of those nasty poisons on anything too tall, which is
yeah, we got safe. And yeah. First safe cracker coming down at 8 points. So I mean, second one is 2, but it's a bit scary.
And we talked a little bit about the Nilfgaard versions as well. This version did not have the 5 provisional locks, so no Alba armored cavalry to kind of lock up any engines or spenders really here. So Danirai has to kind of count on maybe keeping one of those bronze locks that you normally don't want to have, but Invo also answering something like Cleaver, and mainly you have to keep Cleaver and Tunnel Drill in mind, right? Those are the cards.
Don't ask a lady
oh wow!
It's
yeah, a ball. That is a ball. Danirai presenting his balls to Kams here in this round 1.
Just one for now, but it is a ballsy move, so yeah.
Well, it's frightening. You see these 8-point safe crackers come down, then you have to consider a Justice. Like it's scary.
100%. Yeah, making that call of committing, that is fine. Kam's pretty happy to see that. So at this point, he's gonna play for carryover because so many points that you don't really you don't really
Never snip from the
fight
master's
against
table.
that, so
Never.
he's just playing for carrier, I think, at this point.
Yeah, you gotta make the call, commit your ball off the walls, down the hall to see your mom.
That didn't rhyme.
That's your move.
Nice try.
Interesting.
Yeah, I gotta do some practice with that. But you know, you fit in everything you like to see there. A little bit of rhyming, a little bit of your mother. It's poetry.
Please wait,
At
Your
its
Excellency.
best.
I'm falling behind.
Your humble servant. Here is the emissary coming down, boosting a tall one. Potentially actually giving a bit of poison, or a really tall unit for like a heat wave or something if Donner were to bail it after poison. But yeah, you're just looking at ball value coming down, poisoning that poor safecracker, just gonna crack the chest or whatever he was up to. But he's not allowed; he has to go. This really secures the round, I think, for Danirai. I mean, the point gap kind of is telling here.
Point gap definitely telling. I mean, so you don't really push into this. You have multiple Joachims. Kams does have Heat Wave to play into one of those. I mean, your Cupbearer was committed, so like if he gets the poison as well, so he's 2 tall punishes against multi Joachims, has order advantage for the engines, so might still be in a quite the tough spot for Danirai, but maybe that's what you had to do just to not lose uneven.
Oh, definitely more than fair. Not having, like, maybe, you know, double Fang would definitely change it there, or even one Fang, one Cupbearer, but there wasn't a way for Danirai to really complete the poison on any of the big safecracker there, so yeah. I think if you find any of those cards, you're, you know, happier playing those than committing ball, but maybe it had to be done.
You're to use my decoctions to your advantage.
Oh, we see the alchemist
There
come,
you go.
come in to steal the justice. Oh, you hate to
Alchemist
see.
has seen the injustice that has been done by losing on even, and he's here to repair it. He's gonna be like,
Well, though somebody needs to repair Kams' hairline a little bit there, then too. It's fucking getting your justice yoinked. You know, so we do get to see a little bit of the hairline manipulation today.
something that Nilfgaard does very well, whether it's your own or your opponents. It can definitely deliver on that front. So here comes the alchemist finishing this.
Yeah, so we see Kams tossing out the Furco now.
There's a knife.
I don't know. I don't think he had to be. Maybe just to improve his thins out a card, improves the mulligans a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Get a little bit of coin carry over there. Of course, something that Kams hasn't done is thin out the ships, which, yeah. Oh, never mind. It was thin out. Never mind. I kind of missed that. But yeah, just playing carryover, coins, specials, wanting to see as many cards as possible in round 3, playing it all out here. So it is a long round time. The Gorther, obviously being has resilience here, meaning the Cantarella can do what Cantarella does with the Gorther combination, which is, you know, quite fun. Let's see what it'll end up going on. Obviously, Syndicate isn't usually the faction that you want to copy their cards as a Nilfgaard. It's like one of the worst factions for that, but maybe you can manage to kill your own spy somehow and then resurrect it with Cantarella. We'll see.
Ooh, if he misses this YOLO Chem and hits the Vigo Injustice.
Oof. Yeah. That would be not great luck for Danirai, definitely, if that were to happen, but we'll see. Another good thing about all of these spies is that you can block those pockets. Like, Cleaver comes down and then trying to set up a little bit of you know, pocket for tunnel drill. You can really nicely block that with Nilfgaard.
Yeah, we do see Kams having poison completion. So that's going to go through, which is nice. Did miss out on the Heat Wave for the extra tall punish. Yeah. But yeah, overall, fine hand for Kams. Obviously, Danirai would love to have this Joachim in hand. Possibly Artorias, or just one of these goals, really, right? Because Roderick hits the other. Artorias being good value on the hunting packs as well. So
yeah, I mean, if worst comes to worst, then I guess then I guess you can try to kill that, or you could I don't know, you try to kill your Joachim, but he finds it, so he doesn't have to worry about that at all.
That
Look
is-
at that. Whew.
That is a skilled Yolokim into the Artorias roll to hit the hunting packs. What a Joachim there. That's really good for Danirai.
Look at that. That's sweet.
I'm go. Wait.
Wait, we're not going for the hunting packs? Is there a reason for that, or could that be perhaps something that you just forget in the heat of the moment? Is there another way to get them out? Nope.
I'm trying to think why I didn't go for the hunting pack there. Maybe you just thought that they were already.
Maybe just forget about the spying tag, and because you can't go back in that menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then.
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate that they don't have the ability to minimize the choosing screen. And like,
I mean, here it does say. I mean,
Yeah,
I
well,
think
is it just in the tournament client that we get to see that, or did they add it
I
again?
don't know, because it was supposed to be fixed, but I actually haven't played the game enough to know for sure.
Oh, I haven't. This is the first time turning it on all season, and I'm just in the tourney client.
Okay.
So
You can now. They were supposed to fix it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what happened there then. But we did see the Nausicaa come down instead of the hunting pack there. So.
we do get to see some
Alright,
pretty efficient Philippa value with that yoink.
Yeah. Now this is a bit of a key. Like, yeah, like Joachim is nice, but so is Poison, and Kams has the poison. He can go for it. All right.
And here the hunting packs come down. They get thinned out. Yolokim doing a nice job.
Yeah.
I mean, it was more likely. But I've had some pretty annoying Joachims where like I always have hunting packs and stuff in deck, and it just misses them all game. It's like, what are you doing, Joachim?
He's on Danirai's side clearly though. That's just like the algorithms. So, that's good for Donnie.
So Cam's very much swarming hard here, so he's gotta obviously worry a bit about overswarm.
Yep. As we see, Danirai still has a couple of spies, or not just
I guess
but
probably should.
Pantarella is there. Maybe the experimental remedy can hit a spy. Yep,
He
it
is.
actually can.
He's doing this to block the usurper, though, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with the double poisons and then also Yen, I mean, he's gonna. I don't think you're able to really overswarm. Yeah, so he's opening up for.
Yeah. I mean, the camps can continue to play on that melee row, of course.
Man, what does he go and decide to block it with now?
Let's
Could just go with the
see what
poison
he
now.
wants to play. Yeah, why not? It's a pretty decent one, and it's not going to get disrupted here. There is nothing that Danirai can do about Kams' poisons here. You can definitely go for that play.
Mm-hmm. So Cam's going.
Alright, but it's a cleaver. Okay.
Okay, goes for the cleaver front row. I mean, that being a spender on the front row ensures that that usurper will always kind of be bricked, right? But at the same time, like a, or not be
You're gonna have to
bricked.
play tall on this shock, right? You don't want to spend with tunnel drill at this point because you don't have any crown splitters near you. So yeah, this is.
Unless you choose
It's
to
a
like,
way of blocking usurper, but also playing tall with your shock, right?
you could float the drill and then go gourd tunnel drill last say, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you have at least the, yeah, because you don't want to spend with shock.
No. All right, and the info comes out already on the Jacques, as well as we're expecting cleaver charges, right? If the theme continues here, if Cam's trying to block that melee row. or a tunnel drill. Yeah, tunnel drill. It fits the pocket here. That's a bit unfortunate for Danirai that this was enabled there.
Yeah, the invo opening up drill for the spend is actually pretty good for Kams.
Oh yeah, very good.
It does ensure that Danirai gets a pretty nice YOLO Kim now onto this Jacques.
That is true. But it could have been a play that could have waited a little bit, I suppose. Didn't need to come down there. Like,
yeah.
Are you, with a cleaver being on board there, are you ever really getting a better usurper? Maybe you just play it for the little value it does.
Yeah, no, you're just doing that anyway. Yeah. I agree. Usurper could have come down before the invo, potentially. Like, the invo's like never opening up a spot for your usurper anyway.
Yeah. And now we can just see like the spender value that Kams is getting here. Really being able to utilize the coins that he'll get from this Fistic. And that 16-point Artorias is Goners.
No one can hide.
That's a big Artorias. He's had time to grow, but he cannot not stay on for very long anymore because the poisons are taking him down.
Into my eyes and witness your death.
Yeah, and Cam's continuing just to get that spender value and going for the coins first. You know, again, just spending so efficiently with this drill. This drill is just playing for a lot. Danirai still has poisons himself too. Like, the poisons that he has are going to play for a bit.
Double poison, definitely not bad,
but not what this Fistic Trafficker is about to pull off. He's about to traffic so much coke over the border. You got Medi and...
Right. There you go. Yep. That sealed the deal right there. I mean, just like kind of established as well. It just...
All right.
At that point, it cannot be enough anymore, unfortunately. Danirai, you know, leaving it a little bit climactic there, but it's fine. We'll forgive him. Yeah. So, really fast series for Kams. We're repeating patterns not only in Kams' gameplay of smorking really hard and pulling it off and drawing his goals, also QuillandLance for supporting the Kams family because they are securing the wins. And they're getting all the money here, the Kams brothers. Or don't know what the surname is. I would say that instead of Kams, but we're just gonna call them maybe Family Jams is good because they're both jammers, right?
I'm definitely the sugar daddy to the Jams family at this point. But yeah, Kams taking home the 150 and Danirai getting the $50 runner-up prize. So still not a bad prize. You know, it's a nice job playing. You know, it obviously better than, you know, spending 10 hours on qualifiers to come home with nothing. So
yeah, no, I mean, it like just for Danirai, like he got this far with bringing some pretty spicy lists. Like the Nilfgaard was kind of bad bait, but other than that, there was some spice in there. So you got to give it to him for that and making it as far as he did. Yeah,
it's definitely intrigued by some of the lists there. Again, all the series were like all the matches except I guess these last two were like really close in terms of the games we watched for Danirai. So maybe there's something there with some of those lists, and I'll be interested to see like what develops over this meta. I know there wasn't like a ton of changes, and some decks will probably just stay very much the same. So
yeah, probably most as you know what it looks like right now, but you never know. Maybe there are the people actually feeling bored, so they get adventures and want to go and try out new stuff, and maybe that's how decks like Danirai's are born. Or Wilson, for example, you're really showing the kind of unitless elf trap deck with the Catwitcher mentors, so that seems strong from what we saw today.
Like, I'm interested in casting like maybe some trap gameplay, but I'm not. That's not something I like enjoy playing
I know
against.
You don't really like that, but I don't know. It's kind of tempting after seeing those 20 point Catwitcher mentors, right?
I don't know, like the only time I've seen you like seriously mauled to where I was concerned is against no unit decks. So to see you play it would be a bit interesting.
True. Maybe I shouldn't. It's been a while. I don't remember the full, unitless experience. So good you brought that up.
I mean, so that's the problem is it sticks it like here's my thing, right? Like I mulled so often that nobody remembers like the specific molding moments. They just, to whereas when you don't mold often, then it's like it sticks in their memory when you mold. So you just gotta mold. You gotta flood their memory with hair, right? Like that's the strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the strategy of baby.
All right.
All right.